Hey guys, welcome to our review of Mashin Sentai Kiramager Episode 3. As always, I'm your host, Brother Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Cinder Blaze.
My dude, welcome back. We got done watching this episode yesterday, so that you guys could comment on that watch-along, and then we can reply to them in this review. But, before we do that, let's just dive into our thoughts. And I know we gave some of them, in the end of the watch along, so that's a pretty good place to start. I absolutely love Jules Red's characterization thus far. I know we've been doing a lot of focus episodes recently, but Red just complements each of the characters that we've seen so far in such a great way that it somehow characterizes him as well. Um,
Yeah. Like, honestly, from episode 1 onwards, like, episode 0 doesn't really count, but it just having the episode 0 kind of, like, put, like, the benchmark so low. But, like, when you start from episode 1, he's been consistently good with, like, all these episodes.
yeah.
And, like, this is, like, no exception. I feel like this was a stronger version of the previous episode with Green. I personally
Mhm.
was not a big fan of Green and her, like, whole backstory, because, like, I think Michael and I were also talking about it. Like, it was just, like, not, like, important, in my opinion. Um, but, like, for Blue, they kind of, like, went a little bit... They went in, like, a sort of different direction, where they kind of go with his personality and stuff,
Mhm.
and like the way he could kind of like takes things. I don't think they went into that same depth with like Green. We knew that the race was important for her, and she's like, "Ah, it's my senpai's last race, or whatever." And we're just like, "Yeah, great." But then like in this one, they like start with this little interview of him, and he's like, and we get to know like what his public persona is like,
Mhm.
and then they kind of like juxtapose that with his persona and like his position within the team.
Mhm.
And like this was probably one of the best focus episodes for one of the main Sentai members I've seen like a long while. Like this
Yeah,
blows out
absolutely.
like anything I've seen in like Ryu Soldier or like anything of recent memory, to be honest.
Yeah. I agree. And like the way they go in, because like Blue for me absolutely was the weakest until this episode. Because like I really didn't care about the whole cool guy thing, but making that a part of like his character and his psyche and needing to be cool and having that be such an important thing to him. And then at the end of the episode, not saying or not like forcing him to open up, but sort of play along and give into, I don't know, just the way he is and who he is, and giving that to him, allowing him to do that as part of the team, and having that from the inside slowly break down the barriers. I really loved. That's not something that I've seen at all, like touched on in that sort of way. I guess I don't watch too much stuff, but like the way that they are able, the way that Jewel is able to so easily break down people's walls and see exactly what they need, uh, for who they are. Like I really like it. He can tell what this person needs to be shiny or sparkly, as he said, and that really shows here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like he spent time with them too. Like I love how all the no life cure majors, basically everyone but Pink, were just chilling on his set, because they're just like his team members and just like, hey, why not? And they kind of
Mhm.
like see it firsthand, like how he's like and how he prefers to do things. And I
Mhm.
think like when people are doing it in their line of work, especially for something like acting, it just
Mhm.
gives away like so much contextual information about their character. And I'm just like, this is a bit too good, Like
Yeah.
I'm not expecting this.
And on
From,
top of that, like we see Jewel able to pick up on those little character quirks that he knows he likes, and like tailor his leading style to it.
yeah,
It's not like, it's that part of being a team. not necessarily forcing everyone in line, but sort of like moving to the beat of their drum to get to the main goal. You know what I mean? Like going with them to ultimately defeat the bad guy, and I thought that was really great.
Yeah, and like another thing about like Blue's character, how he was like really cool. I think one thing Michael and I were saying in like a previous episode was that like he was too cool to have a character because we could easily see him go down that rabbit hole. Although it hasn't really happened recently, I think I can't even remember who was like the last like super serious character who just forgoed any sort of character. I think they all turned into some sort of gag character somewhere down the line.
Mhm.
But for him to kind of like come out blaring this hard, and like the way they kind of like they owned up to all the cheesiness of that character type.
Yeah.
Oh man,
And
it
on
was so fun. It
and
was
on top of that, they did eventually end up pulling the rug from under him and like breaking down his coolness, but not in a way that like diminished his character. You know, they were just having fun as friends.
yeah.
Weird, right? um so yeah, it's been great on the hero side. For the villain side though, we had a wonderful villain, like we did last week. And I don't know. He wasn't as like present, I guess. Like he was there to set up the conflict, but he did it pretty well. And it
Yeah.
was enjoyable throughout. Um, did you have any thoughts on that guy or
I mean, he
no?
had enough presence that he needed to. Like, I liked his
Yeah.
quirk. I liked his personality because just the way he kind of like talked back and just played around with
Yeah, yeah.
the cure majors. I thought that was pretty neat, and like how they're all trying to like mess around with this gimmick. It was just like super fun. Like these guys aren't idiots. Like
Yeah. Also we got the formation of their five-person mech, or I
cure
guess
Majin.
four-person mech with blue as a sword, and that was it.
Yeah, that was so weird. I thought he would at least like break apart and like have part of it be the sword, but it's like no, it's just four and just holding
Or
blue by the head.
um the fight was still pretty good though. I would like more with the vehicles, and we definitely got that this episode. Jewel like actually trying to pull the stick away from the dude. Which I guess is a magic stick, and you can't put any other stick through the vice to make it work. But yeah, we got to see a little bit more of the juicy mech action before we actually got into the big robot. Um, so more of that, please, if we could.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man, and dude, just I don't want to like keep going back to this, but the way Jewel played played into Blue's sort of cool guy fantasy during that fight, and went absolutely all the way and was like basically the linchpin to pulling the thing away from the guy. Um, yeah, man, it just really shows his dedication. I love it.
Yeah. That's pretty dope.
Hmm. Okay, cool. Alex, do you know we got comments
Oh baby.
on
Let's
our
go.
video telling us what they thought about the episode? Let's
Yeah.
talk about it. All right. First one comes from Double the Unknown. I was afraid Shigeru was just there to fit in the stoic character trope like Toma and Bamba, but I really like the way they presented his character as an actor in this episode. The monsters are as crazy as some of the ones in Tokyuger. Remember the table flipping or chick on
Yeah,
your head monster? Huh?
I think I remember the table flipping one.
But so far they fit in with the story. The episode wants to tell a lot. Still enjoying this show, and I'm excited that we are getting some plot next episode. Yeah, absolutely. Um, let's see. Next comment was from Yuki Miyazaki, and yes, he managed to compress uh, his comment this time, so I very much appreciate it. Yet another surprisingly good episode from Kiramagers. I like what they did to Juru as leader by making him find out what is the best solution to bring out the best in the team. Wait, to bring the best out of the team mood, especially this episode with Shigeru, but copying what the side character said in his shooting. And talking about Shigeru, I like what they did with his personality by showing his weak side so he doesn't end up just being the stoic, stern character in the team. The villain, as always, being fun to watch, but how the hell Shigeru was so easy fooled by him is ridiculous. But don't worry because next episode will be good one because Train with Dinosaur. And can't wait for it. Overall, another great episode with minor nitpick. Sounds dumb, don't it? Love the mocking Shigeru with that sentence. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, they killed that joke into the dirt, but like,
Dude, I feel like, our sentiment carries with basically everyone here. Like, we were all very scared that Blue wasn't gonna have a character. And with at least what he was saying with what was it with Lupin Blue and Bomba, like fitting that character type, we don't really get to see them budge, but like they sort of play off of that in this
yeah,
episode, like subvert your expectations and actually give you something for that character and
yeah,
break them down. Um, I feel like goes a long way to building up the goodwill for this show.
yeah.
Yeah. Alex, did you have anything else before we end this episode?
Yeah, it's not imagination without a train.
That's right.
I'm so looking forward to next episode.
Train and a dinosaur. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below what you thought about our thoughts about your thoughts on this episode. And hey, don't forget, keep it juicy.
Yep. Yeah.
I honestly had no idea what I was gonna say when I said, hey, don't forget. Because usually I just sort of like talk out of my ass until I decide to finish it.
Yeah.